A very good evening to you, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Q8 Pilot channel. Today, we are going to be taking a first look at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Sim Update 3. Want to welcome all of you guys in chat. Thank you very much for your patience, guys. Jesse, Rand, Cooley, Roy, Mr. Valero, Stan, welcome aboard. Flyby, glad to have you guys here. Dude, welcome aboard. Yes, a Sim Update 3 appears to not be as expected, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Mohan, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Thank you so much, guys, for your thank you so much for your patience. I've had a bit of trouble just loading up. I started getting the same issues that I got when Microsoft Flight Sim was released, things related to low bandwidth and this is not working and that is not loading. So, but finally we are here and we are in Schiphol Airport today. We're going to be heading to Zurich in Switzerland aboard this rather beautiful KLM Royal Dutch Airlines PMDG 777-300ER. This aircraft is my absolute favorite aircraft in real life, and I love Boeing, so it's a double dose of love today, aviation love. And yeah, let me give you guys a quick brief here of our flight. So let me head over to, we don't need that. And we can head over to this one and remove that. And let me go to our SimBrief flight plan. So we are currently at Schiphol, Amsterdam in the Netherlands. We are departing today runway 36 left through the Lopi 4 vector departure. And we're going to be cruising at 35,000 feet, I believe. And we're going to be heading over to Zurich in Switzerland, arriving runway 14 through the Belm 3 Golf arrival, 35,000 feet. And our flight time today is it's just under 1 hour. So not a very long flight, but it should be enough for us to test out Microsoft Flight Sim and take note of the performance and other considerations as well, including some of the changes that they've introduced in these settings. We have with us Skill Addicts. Welcome. Daniel, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Aviation Geek, welcome. That's the 200. No, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the 200. I'm not really sure. I must have downloaded the 200. Yeah, that must be the 200, not 300. Your SimCFI, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And Ken, howdy, my friend. Glad to have you here. Okay, so yes, this is indeed the 200, not the 300. You are absolutely correct. Okay, so we are going to hop here into the cockpit. It's starting to rain. We can see a guy walking there. Again, the lovely intricacies of Microsoft Flight Sim. So one of the things I've noticed in this release is that the performance is slightly better, though there are a lot of pauses when you start the sim. So when it loads onto the main screen, there is a short, like 7-second pause, and then things go back to normal. Now, they've introduced also a few things in the menu. So let me just very quickly go here to the settings and show you. If you go to the global rendering quality, you'll see that they have introduced a few things here. So there's airport services quantity. I've set this to medium, and the variety is ultra. Air traffic quantity, I've set this to off, and obviously the variety is off, is low, but doesn't matter because this is off. So this is something new that they've introduced. Also, you can see here you have road traffic, sea traffic, and fauna, which is the animals, which I've never seen, by the way. But you can actually set this to, high, ultra. So let's set these to ultra today and just see what, how things fare up just with everything else being set to max. And yeah, so these are the new settings that they've introduced into this version of the sim. I've also noticed, you see how when I go to the settings menu, come back, things kind of take a bit to load. But overall, the sim experience is pretty smooth. So, but of course, you get all these anomalies there with people, going in and out of the. It's an immersion breaker, but we'll ignore that for today. Okay, so overall, I haven't really had a lot of time to test it out, but I've done a few tests. I can tell you that the sim runs a lot smoother. It's far more stable than its predecessors, but it's still not free of issues. That's what I can tell you right off the bat. So you scared me with the title, huh? Okay, so first thing first, guys, let's go to the electronic flight bag. And we're going to go here and we're going to request the data from Debrief. Yeah, I probably need to make some changes to the... the registration looks like I've registered, but then I actually took the 7.2. So that's okay. We'll worry about that later. Let's see. So everything here is done, and we can now start prepping the aircraft. So let's establish electrical power. We're going to come here to the overhead panel, and let's see here. All right, so battery switch on, and seats and cabin utility on. We're going to start the primary external power and the secondary external power as well. And now we have electrical power supplied. The ADIRs are on, emergency lights are armed, and window heat is on. We're going to turn on the hydraulics. We'll put these on auto, and we'll turn on this one. Everything else here is good. Let's do the quick fire overheat test. And the fire here, the APU and cargo fire test is complete. Okay, perfect. The aircraft is loading up. Let's go ahead and test the oxygen here on the first officer and captain's sides, if I can get to it from here. There we go. And also on the flight engineer or the accompanying pilot here, we can also test that. Okay, so maybe a trainer or an instructor that's what that seat is for. Okay, I don't think there is an engineer on the 777 nowadays. Okay, so all is good here. And do we need anything on the overhead? We are going to set the seatbelt sign to auto. Actually, we'll set it to on. And everything else here in terms of the light is okay. I think I like the textures of the Flight Factor 777 a lot better than the PMDG one, but yeah. So, okay. So we have everything here. We leave the APU alone for the time being, and we'll just go ahead and start programming the FMC. So let's come down here a little further. There. All right. So I think you can follow along, but let me... All right. Let me bring up Debrief here on the side. Okay. And next we're going to go to the FMC. Perfect. Let's remove that. Position in it. We are at Echo Hotel Alpha Mike. And we are going to select the GPS position and stick it here. Next we're going to go to the route. And we're going to request the route. Debrief from... This is our route here from Schiphol to Zurich. So we're going to select that. We're going to say set payload. And we're going to say set fuel. And now the Debrief fuel is set. Next, we're going to go to select route, and is requesting our route now from Debrief. I like the integration with Debrief. I think it works seamlessly. The electronic flight bag is not a very useful one in this aircraft, but nonetheless, it is there. So we're going to load the... we'll wait for it to load. And I think now we have the descent forecast is ready. Route uplink, data ready. All right, now we can say activate and execute. Perfect. We're going to go to the departures. The Lopi 4. By the way, runway 36 left is very far from where we're parked, so it's going to be a long taxi today. But that's all right. So let's go to our SID, which is the loopy for the loopy loopy 4 vector, loopy 4 vector. There we go. And runway 36 left. We're going to execute that. Next, we're going to go to the routes. Actually, let's go back here and select the arrival, which is the Blim 3 Golf arrival. And it's the ILS 14. And let's see, there's, let's check 14 here real quick. And approach 14, the ILS. There, there we go. And let's take a quick look here. So it's the Geipel transition. So then it's, yeah, it's definitely the Geipel transition, which is this one here. So we're going to select that one and say execute. Perfect. And next we are going to go to the routes page. We're going to go to perf int. And now we can reject. Now, I don't know why it says 37,000 feet. The Debrief plan says 35. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. But we're going to change the cruise level to 350 right there. And then we're just going to click here for the zero fuel. And it will update everything automatically for us. Thrust limit will derate our takeoff. And then we're going to select flaps 5 for departure. We're going to put in the center of gravity, 3.25 for the trim, and select our speeds. So 150 for V2. So let's go ahead and set that to 150. All right, with that, we are going to 150. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and start the APU. Okay, APU is starting. And let's check our flight plan real quick for any discontinuities. So we're going to go to plan. We're going to go here to the legs page. And we're going to step through, make sure that everything looks legible and that there are no discontinuities. That's the top of descent. And then this is Geipel. I'm seeing some strange things here. All right, so that's Geipel, and then we are going to come and turn this way and make this turn, come back here to land. Very strange approach. Very strange approach. Yeah. Well, what we can do is, let me step through this real quick here. So KLO ZH74, and then that's the center fix Osnem. And then, yeah, so we have 2 nautical miles, 8 nautical miles to the runway. That's going to be a bit of a sharp turn, but we'll probably have to configure the aircraft before the turn because it's quite sharp. Or we can simply just give the aircraft a little bit of time and then come back and land. Okay. So everything is set here. Let's set our altimeter to 30. Actually, this needs to be in hectopascal because we are flying in Europe. So it's 1019. And brilliant. V Skycheck, welcome. Look at the flight plan. You will probably climb to 350, then step climb to 370. That might be, the flight plan has no indication of that. So if you go to the flight plan here, there is no stepping to the flight level 370. So I'm not sure really why it's giving. The flight plan is strictly 35,000 feet. So I'm not sure why it has the, yeah, so let me check here. Yeah, 35,000 across the board. Look at that. So there is no 370. So I'm not sure why it's doing that. Anyway. We're going to go back to map, and we are going to put the weather. By the way, the weather radar is implemented in this version of the aircraft. We're going to put the terrain on the first officer's side, and let's go ahead and set the altitude to our final cruise altitude, which is 35,000 feet. And we'll switch this back to auto, and the runway heading is 360, so we'll leave that alone. We're going to turn on the flight directors on both sides. Auto brake to rejected takeoff. LNAV, VNAV, both are on. And coming here, now we can disconnect the not the APU, but the ground power. And we have the APU running now, so everything is under control and per design intent. Okay, let's turn on this VR switches to VR1 and VR left on the left and right. And now we are pretty much ready to go. So we are going, if there's, Alex, can you tell us if it's actually raining right now in Schiphol? Because I have a suspicion that it is not currently currently raining. So, yeah, I thought I saw Alex today. Yeah, he is here, indeed. Okay, Elias entered happy with SU3 and VRAM usage, no problem, even with Phoenix. Yeah, the performance is definitely, a lot of the issues around performance are fixed. So let's turn on our fuel pumps, let's turn on our beacon lights, and we are now ready to disengage. Let's let the chocks and the ground power. Now we can come here, I believe, and ground operations. So we can remove the chocks, and we can also remove the ground connections. Do we have the ground power still connected? I don't know. Let's go to the menu here. FS actions, ground connections, power plugs, ground power set are removed. So I suppose that they are not there anymore. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, external power is not available. So we are now good. Here's the aircraft. Okay. Let's begin the better pushback. We need to set parking brake, that's for sure. So let's set the parking brake. Actually, before we do that, guys, let's come over here real quick and go to the checklist. The oxygen is tested 100%. Flight instruments are checked. And then we're going to go to the before start. Flight deck door is closed and locked. Passenger signs are on. MCP V2 heading track and altitude are set. Takeoff speeds are set. CDU pre-flight is complete. Trim 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing is complete. And the before start check is complete. Okay, perfect. Now we can go ahead and request the pushback of our position and head over to prepare for pushback and departure. There we go. So we are going to use KLM. There we go. Everything there branded KLM. Again, I've had to update FS Dream Team GSX Pro. Now, one of the things I noticed is that the wind isn't fixed. The wind issue in Microsoft Flight Sim isn't fixed. So no matter how strong the crosswind is, it's just not right. And the clouds, they look okay. I think they look fine. But again, if the weather is, for example, overcast, you don't really get a forecast depiction in the sim. You'll get a bunch of clouds. Okay, so we'll just now wait for the pushback truck to push us out of our position, and we'll be on our way to runway 36 left, which is quite far from where we are. Very beautiful aircraft, the 777. Look at those huge engines. Gotta love it. Okay. Just checked rain radar and has some miles rain 10 minutes ago. Oh, thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. The clouds look wrong. I'm very sure that they look wrong. There is a closed coverage. No blue at all. I see. Again, all right, so pushback facing north.
Release parking brakes, please.
Okay, let's release the parking brakes. There we go.
All engines clear.
All right, so engines are clear, and we can start the engines. So we're going to start here with the right engine. Okay. You have to really adore the 777. Just really beautiful, beautiful aircraft. All right, and let's start the right engine. The engine sounds are really nice. I think we should have faced the other way, but that's all right. Okay. So we can now go ahead and start the left engine. There we go. Left engine starting. And GSX is doing its strange things now. Yeah, that's what I figured. It should make us face north. So I was wondering what it was doing. So yeah, GSX and its really strange behavior sometimes. Okay, so we're going to put this back on 10 nautical miles. There we go. At least there is weather, no texture clouds. Yeah, I guess so. Default sounds, yes. I think the weather is pretty accurate compared to what's seeing out of my window in Amsterdam. Is it? Well, that's great to hear, because because I've noticed that the cloud depiction is not very well done, I have to say. Okay. So everything here is good. Let's see. We can now go to... All right.
Please set parking brakes.
All right. Let's go and set our parking brake. Parking brake is set.
Waiting for confirmation for a good engine start.
Okay. And we're going to come here and we're going to say confirm.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
All right.
Unlocking gear.
I'm going to go to, let's see, ground performance, no, ground operations. Let's see, door management. And we're going to arm all doors. Excellent. And everything is now ready to go, folks. I think just MSFS clouds are over dramatic in general. Yes, they are. Yeah. I have to agree with you there. 100%. Okay. So, the engines are running, and we are good to go.
Tow track disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
And what we're going to do is we are
Right is clear.
going to request... all right, let me wait for that. Okay, let me just wait for this guy to finish. We are... All right, we're going to set flaps 5. 1, 2, and that's flaps 5. We have to see that, and we have to listen. Takes a while before the flaps... There you go. Listen to those sounds. Very nice. Very nice texturing there. I really love the 777 wing, and when the flaps are deployed, it just looks just amazing. Okay, perfect. So flaps 5 are set. Everything's good to go here. We're going to turn on the taxi lights on, and we're going to come to GSX, and we're going to ask GSX to let's see here. We want to go to next page 3-6 left. And we want the follow me. Request follow me. Yes. All right. So we're just going to have the follow me truck take us there. And we'll just use it for guidance. Everything else is set. So the before taxi NTI is checked. Recall is checked. Auto brake set. Flight controls. Full up. Full down. Full left. Full right. pedals, full right, full left, neutral, all checked, ground equipment clear, and the before taxi checklist is complete. Before takeoff checklist, flaps 5 is set, and the before takeoff checklist is now complete. So the only thing we're waiting now for is for the follow me truck to arrive. Let's see here. Revoke. No, he's coming. He's coming. Let's take a look at the outside here real quick. There he is. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's having a field day out there, having fun, going over the different taxiways there before he makes his way to the aircraft awaiting departure. Okay. Look at the scenery in Microsoft Flight Sim is nice, but the thing about it is that it is highly cinematic. So when you look at the textures in Microsoft Flight Sim, it's hardly realistic, but extremely cinematic. All right, there we go. That's the follow me truck, and now we can remove the release parking brake, and let's go. All right. On our way now to runway 36 left. It's going to be a while before we arrive into our departing runway. I also have found that the overall handling on the ground, at least of this PMDG, has improved. You can at least now maintain center line when rolling down the runway, and when you arrive, when you land. I've tried this with hard landing, soft landing, and the ground handling has improved in the PMDG. I haven't tested other aircraft, so I'm not sure if the improvement is from the sim or from the actual aircraft. I've also found that the handling of the PMDG 777 in Microsoft Flight Sim is the handling of the aircraft manually is a real joy. It's a really enjoyable aircraft to hand fly. So again, I cannot attest to whether this is a sim improvement, overall, platform improvement, or if it's an improvement from PMDG. I suspect that it's probably PMDG, but I could be mistaken. All right, there we go. We're going to turn here. And again, right there. I was tempted to try say intentions today. I know I've been wanting to do it with you guys to show you the generating the traffic, the live traffic. But I figured I'll just do this flight without any unnecessary add-ons, just to kind of test the sim, its performance without too many add-ons, so that we can have a better assessment of how stable the platform is. And PMDG is definitely an aircraft that is, it's actually one of the better optimized aircrafts in Microsoft Flight Sim in terms of performance, when compared, for example, with the Inabuild's A350, which is horrendous when it comes to performance. So yeah, things are definitely looking pretty gloomy here in terms of the clouds. All right, let's slow down a bit here. Look at those wings, guys. Wow, the texturing is just rather remarkable on the 777. All right, let's slow down here before we hit this guy. You'll notice also that the GSX, for some reason, is stuttery. So I'm not sure why. I've always had this issue with GSX, where it's not very smooth, whereas the sim is running pretty smooth. Right, we're going to cross our runway here. By the way, one of the liveries I love on the 777 is this one that we're flying today, the KLM livery. And I don't like the Sky Award, whatever livery. I like this one, the classic KLM livery. It just looks so nice, and I love the their logo. Just really, really nice. Okay, this guy has supposedly brought us here, so I really am not sure where is the runway now, but I suspect that it's probably somewhere over there. He left us. The guy just left us. All right. Well, we're going to come here to Debrief, to Navigraph charts, and let's see if we can find out where we are. Looks like Debrief, all right. So let's see. This is runway 36, and looks like the SimConnect is not running. Navigraph SimLink. Because this guy, I think the runway's right over there, but we're going to just double check real quick now. Yeah, as you can see here, we're going to make the turn, and we're going to go straight to the runway over there. It's good that we have Navigraph charts, otherwise we'll be completely lost. The following truck appears to have abandoned us, so that's okay though. GSX still not yet perfect after all these years. Yes, you'll go all forward and Ginger Nerd, how are you, my friend? GSX always buggy. Yeah, I think the guy got confused. I think he's a new hire, guys, so let's not be too hard on him. He's a new hire here at Schiphol. So, yeah, he decided to abandon us, and so that's okay. I think I've had this problem with bigger airports where a GSX just gets lost completely. And maybe because I do not have the GSX profile for this airport. So that's another reason why we've had this, yeah. So I have created a brand new channel. The channel name is Genovate, and it is live right now. I would put in a link for you guys if you're interested in the world of generative artificial intelligence. I hope that this is going to be a useful resource. It reminded me, creating this new channel, guys, reminded me of when I first started with this Q8 Pilot channel, where the channel isn't monetized. You can't post links in the description because they haven't really established the history of the channel yet. And it just really reminded me how difficult it was when I first started 10 years ago. But the thing is, I wasn't really even paying attention to number of subs or views. I was just creating those videos to, have fun and share my passion and knowledge with, with the community. So we're going to go straight. I don't think we need the entire runway length. This is a very powerful aircraft with very powerful engines, so I think we're fine here. Could you say the name again or spell it, please? Sounds tough to get it going. It's Genovate. It's like generative and innovation. So it's G-E-N and then N-O-V-A-T-E. Genovate. That's the name of the channel. If you type Genovate in YouTube, you should be able to get it. It's got like a teal color to it. I'll post a link, or maybe just during cruise, I'll post here in the description if you guys can't find it. All right, so here's the runway. We're going to turn on our landing lights, runway turn off lights, strobe lights are on, taxi lights are off, and we are good to go, ladies and gents. Okay, finally. Look at just how majestic this 777 is. Wow. Gotta love it. And finally, we can see the strobe lights too. Yeah. All right, I'm going to set the view here. All righty. And we are good to go. Engines are stable. And toga. Little forward pressure on the yoke. And you'll notice that there is absolutely no stuttering in this version of Microsoft Flight Sim, which is something I really like. Very, very smooth experience. 100 knots. We'll release the pressure on the yoke.
V1.
Rotate. Right, positive rate. And gears going up. Oh, look at this view, guys. This is gorgeous. You can look at the road traffic there. All right, let's take a look here. All right, yeah, we are above 1,000 feet. Let's go ahead and track the flaps. Very nice. Autopilot engaged. And there is a beautiful wing view for you guys as we go through the clouds here over Schiphol. Oh, really? 737. Oh. I got you guys. I'm looking for at a 787 or 737. You were looking at the 777. And this is a really beautiful wing view here as we climb to 350. Definitely, the cloud smoothing is something that Microsoft Flight Sim and Asobo have perfected in the sim. It looks really, really good. Very convincing. So, yeah, I'm sorry. It's my bad. Look at there, you can see the refiner there with the smoke coming out. Some really nice details. You can see the road traffic there as well. And look at the sun reflection on the wings. That is absolutely gorgeous. The wing flex is, again, very, very well done on the 777 here by PMDG. Some funny looking artistic clouds there, so it looks like artwork. But the clouds that are closer to the aircraft look really, really good. Right, Barrow altimeter is set to standard, and we continue to climb. This is a really nice looking scene here. Yeah, those are really nice clouds. There. Very nice indeed. Yes, the detail is looking really nice. Yes, overall, guys, I think the... Ooh, we forgot the APU here. So let's turn that off, and we're going to put the seatbelt sign, non-smoking signs on auto. So overall, I think the stability of the sim is improved significantly from previous releases. So this is by far the most stable version, I think, of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Overall, the smoothness is improved, performance is improved, and I think it is at the point where you can actually fire up a flight and enjoy it. So let me try and find... There we go. That's it. I'm a bit rusty, guys, on... How do I do this now? All right, there we go. Copy the link. And then I'll come to you guys here. Okay, so for those of you who are interested in my other channel, here is the link. There you go. I really appreciate it, guys, if you can subscribe to the channel. And I posted my very first tutorial there earlier today. It's going to be a multilingual channel. It's going to be in both English and Arabic. I have a lot of plans for this channel, and I actually have a bigger idea for this channel, much bigger than just being a regular content creator for it. But I'm gonna try and to keep my keep my ambitions and enthusiasm in check, because I really don't have a lot of time for another channel right now. But thank you very much, Roy. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, the channel is in its infancy. Thank you very much, Rand. Appreciate it. And do spread the word, guys. If you know anybody who's interested in, in generative AI and learning how to create things, with Gen AI, I plan on doing a lot, and I plan on showing you all the tools similar to what we've done with Flight Sim. I'll be showing you how to, use different tools to do different things. It is really, really an amazing thing that you can do with it. I mean, you can do a lot of very nice things. I understand people are very afraid of it. It's something that is scary, just looking at what it can do. But I think if used correctly, I think it can be a very powerful tool as well. Right, so 17,000 feet for 35. And I have to say that this is actually looking very nice. Look at this, guys. Look at this scene here as we climb to our cruise altitude. Definitely improvement in terms of I think the lighting has slightly changed. I still don't like the sky color in Microsoft Flight Sim, but overall things have improved, and you can see the terrain underneath us there. Very nice. Still not the sharpest. So I'm using in TAAA. That was a bit of a pause there. But yeah, overall, I think it looks pretty good here as we climb to our cruise altitude through the clouds. Here's our top of climb. And yeah, you can see the shadow casting on the panel here. I love the shadows in Microsoft Flight Sim. They are very natural. You can see it here. There are no jaggies whatsoever, so it looks really, really good. And very realistic clouds, very realistic shadows, beg your pardon, as you can see here. Again, you can see the shadow from the knob here. Very accurate shadow when it comes to the buttons, the switches. Of course, if you put this on Ultra, you'll get all those extra details that, in my opinion, look very, very nice. Okay, let me go back here to the likes page. Let me come down here, and we're going to put this on VNav. So we're still in climb. And then we're going to come down here. We are, next page, was it runway 14? Okay, so RW 14, a bearing of 140. Actually, what we can do is just say /10, and we're going to say /20. All right. And then if we come back here and select plan, we can see our two rings here, the 20 nautical mile and the 10 nautical mile, are created there for situational awareness. Perfect. Go back here. And by the way, I did not put this on TARA. Or did it do it automatically? Yeah, it seems like it's on TARA. Okay, and we did not start our clock. There, let me click it. Let me click it there. Okay, I think I just stopped it. There. Okay. Do you have any trace shadows on? I have everything on, and if it's in the settings, it's turned on, and it's probably at max. Q8 probably has RT shaders on. You can notice that from the sharpen of the shadows at the... Yes, I do have it on. Yes, that is correct. So yeah, the shadows are looking just fantastic, really. And if you go here, you'll see, again, you'll see it should actually change a little bit depending on the angle that you're looking from, but doesn't seem to do that. So they are not 100%, but they are pretty darn good. Yeah. Okay, so 10,000 feet to go for our cruise altitude. Things are looking good. Now, one of the things you'll notice in Microsoft Flight Sim, and this is true about all versions released of Microsoft Flight Sim, when you have a little bit of cirrus clouds like that in the distance, they look highly unrealistic. They look cartoonish almost. But the over-dramatization of the clouds is something I don't like. So I like the fact that we do have clouds and they look in a way realistic, but I so much more prefer the clouds in X-Plane now. I think they look fantastic. Okay. So, all in all, I think flight simulation is in a very sweet spot now, considering where we are, where we've been 10 years ago, and where we are today. I think the flight sim industry has really transformed time and again over the last 10 years. And I think today we are in a position where we can really enjoy this hobby to a very high degree of accuracy when it comes to the procedural part of aviation, of procedural part of flight. I believe that it gives us a lot of insight on the actual operation of an aircraft and how to operate a real aircraft. Now, one of the things that came out, one of the good things that came out of COVID is the fact that many real-world pilots were sort of forced to go to flight simulation, but because that was the only way that they can actually practice, their flight simming or their actual, procedures and not forget their checklist and what have you. And I think the V1 simulation, flight deck to sim, what do you call him? Into the Blue simulation, NG driver, and many others have turned into. We can't forget, of course, A320 sim pilot. So all of these real-world pilots have turned to flight simulation, and I think their participation has really enriched the overall experience in flight simming, bringing real-world insight into the sim. And I think for the very first time in a very long time, we are able to hear a real world captain telling you, yeah, this aircraft, this is exactly how it works in real life, or no, this is not how it's done in real life. And, one of the captains I really enjoy is V1. The reason I really like V1 is of his educational style. So he actually explains things in a very detailed yet very easy to understand manner. I like the fact that he simulates failures, and he goes through the proper procedures. Even when he's flying offline, he will enact the ATC control. He's going to do role playing. He does role playing like he's ATC, and then he replies, and he gives you the correct phraseology. I really enjoy his content. I really cannot recommend him enough. If you're not subscribed to V1, please do so. The one big thing we are missing is good ATC and traffic with the default sim. Yeah, you do have say intentions though to counter that. We are spoiled to a large degree. Yeah, lighting actually looks better, but you can get it. You can get it close to it and illustrate whether with the shader tool. Oh, I didn't know there was a shader tool, but yeah, Roy. You see, one of the things I don't like doing anymore is really going and finding tweaks that makes this look better and makes this look, those tweaks that enhances the scenery or enhances the sky colors. I really stopped doing that because with every version you have to wait for an update, then you don't have it, then it breaks the sim, then you have to remove it, and you really can't remember which one you got it or where you got it from. So it's to me, all of these things should be provided by the developer. And the developers should really pay a lot of attention to these things, because these are the things that make the experience flying this sim a more rewarding one, as opposed to just spending time and looking for something to make the sim look a little better. So I really stopped doing this long time back, and I just fly the plain vanilla sim. I'll buy add-ons for it like aircraft, scenery, airports. I don't have a problem with that. I'll buy sound packs, okay, for the aircraft, okay, that's not a problem. But then, tweaking the sim itself is something I'm kind of grown out of. Q8, that pilot you just mentioned is V1 simulation. That is correct, yes, V1 simulation. Excellent mentor. Highly recommend it. Okay, 35,000 feet, that's our cruise altitude, folks. And if we come down here and look at the TD is in 137 nautical miles, so not very long from now. Again, very short flight. So we're going to come to the approach reference. We're going to select flaps 30 and 144 for our approach speed, 144. We'll stick that there, and we're pretty much done. The 777 will automatically capture the ILS frequency for the runway. So we are all good here. Are we flying in real time? Let me just double check here. We are definitely flying in real time and real weather. Okay, just wanted to double check. So our next V1 is the Airbus guy. Yes, correct. That is correct. So our next stream is without a doubt going to be an X-Plane stream, and it will more than likely be on Tuesday. And I'm thinking maybe we want to go back to doing some general aviation aircraft, unless you guys want something else. But I'm really itching for some good GA aircraft. So maybe that's what we'll do. We have Ian Key just subscribed to the channel. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you as part of the family, my friend. Although lossless scaling isn't really a tweaking tool, together with the shader tool. Yeah, lossless scaling is really good. I think it's one of the best inventions for gaming in general, for improving FPS in gaming. Not to mention, of course, flight sim. because it really does what it says it does, and it does it very well. So yeah, definitely highly recommend it. One of the best investments I've made was buying lossless scaling. It would be great to do a GA flight. Absolutely, Stan. Casey, flying deck sim is a real-life 737 pilot and uses mostly the Zibo when flying that aircraft. Yes, correct. I do like flight deck sim. Again, but I will be very honest with you guys. I prefer V1 simulations. I prefer his style. The teaching style from V1 is more, suitable for my liking. Baron 58, please. Do you mean the Baron, the default Baron 58, or the payware one? Sim Crash Flyer 297, welcome aboard. He is very chill. Yeah, he's very chill. I really like him a lot. All right. All right, so we are just about 115 nautical miles now from top of descent. Things are looking good. Let's take a quick look at the outside here. And again, you can see the cloud formation is looking very convincing here in this specific scene here. Beautiful KLM livery flying over those beautiful clouds. I don't like the sun. It's just really, really bad. The way they've, the sun is depicted in this sim is just lousy. Okay, all is good here. By the way, the PMDG has a lot of customizations, and a lot of things can be. So if you go here, and if you go to the menu, if you go to PMDG setup, now you have aircraft and you have options. If you go to aircraft, you have a multitude of things that you can do. You have failures, displays, and equipment. If we go to equipment, you have 13 pages of customizations for, for your aircraft, including takeoff thrust derates, whether it's enabled, disabled, company speed, accelerations, the instruments. So you can have, you can change the cabin sign selectors, the comm channel spacing, the packages. So whether you want the test package, yes or no, Wi-Fi, SATCOM antenna, you can install those as well. So look at this. You have just really 13 pages of different options and systems that you can configure for your aircraft. And the same thing goes with 7 pages of displays. You can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, from kilograms to pounds. And then you can go, again, so many things here that you can customize to your liking. Normally it comes with the livery, so when the livery is created by the livery maker, they can set all of these things to match the exact airline configuration. And of course you have failures, so you have 5 pages of failures, and you have different categories within each page. So you can fail the air conditioning, APU, automatic flight, autopilot, communication doors, electrical, engine fire. You can select here, you can do it random. You can do the maintenance, you can program it if you want. Again, lots and lots of things that you can simulate with this aircraft, and that makes it really a very high fidelity representation of the 777. The flight bag, though, is for me is a little bit of a disappointment. I don't think it's laid out properly, for one, and I think it's if you go, for example, to the performance tool, import from it won't get the runway, so you have to select it. And see here, so if I go here, 36 left, okay, so that's the runway. I can import this information from the aircraft, which is okay, import weather, and then you can actually click here to calculate, and it gives you your speeds. A little bit different from what we've had. I think we've had 150 for V2. This is calculating 47, but that could be because things have changed since our departure. And then, of course, you can do the landing dispatch as well, and the landing en route. So you can put all this information. It tells you exactly where you need to land, and relative to the threshold touchdown zone, and shows you where the threshold is, and so on and so forth. So it's okay. It's not bad. And then you've got your ground operation. You've got your weight and balance as well. And you can also import this from Debrief. We've changed it just now. Okay, so yeah, overall, I think it's okay. It's functional, but I think it could be better in terms of the user interface and the usability and the overall usefulness of it. I think can be improved. Mr. Lupo, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. Why we cannot switch between displays with lossless scaling? Switch between displays. So with lossless scaling, if you have, for example, if you have Navigraph charts here, see, I can leave this on top and I can actually go to the sim and this remains on top. If you have lossless scaling enabled, you will not be able to do this. What's going to happen is that the minute I go here, it will minimize this window. And I think it has to do with, with how lossless scaling work, because it cannot apply it to both of these windows. It can only apply it to one. So only the active window with lossless scaling will be the one that you see on the screen. The good thing we finally we have an EFP. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have the 777-200 LR on 2024, flew it a couple of times, and my opinion is that the flight factor 777 version 2 is much better. Well, Jesse, you're not alone in this assessment. I think I do agree with you, and I do prefer the flight factor 777 just about from all angles. I think it's a much better implementation of the 777. All right. Let us get our quickly our platform altitude. So we are going to come here and ILS 14, and it's 4,000 feet. We are about 60 nautical miles from top of descent. So let me switch this here. All right, so we're going to go to 4,000 feet. All right, that's 4,000, and we'll switch that back. Ginger Ninja, welcome to Captain. Thank you very much for the support, my friend. Really appreciate it. Very, very kind of you, sir. I was actually thinking of something for members only, and perhaps we'll do one a stream. We'll do one stream a month where it's exclusively for members. Hello, Q8. I can't watch the stream today, but I wanted to let you know you have in the title PMDG 737-300. It's actually correct. Correct. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, the guys have already told me, so thanks for the heads up. I will definitely correct that once the stream is over. All right, so here's a scene where you can see the clouds are a bit textured and doesn't look really very good. So sometimes, again, the clouds in MSFS just don't look very good. This definitely doesn't look very convincing. The colors, again, look cinematic rather than realistic, in my opinion. But nonetheless, it's much better than what it used to be in terms of performance. Thank you very much, Manos. Appreciate it, my friend. And thanks for stopping by. So definitely a lot more coming in the world of X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim in terms of aircrafts. There are a lot of aircraft, by the way, that came out for Microsoft Flight Sim that I haven't really tested out or kind of showcased. And I think just out of staying balanced and continuing to bring value, I think, guys, we need to focus a little bit on Microsoft Flight Sim and the new releases. So expect a little bit more MSFS content there is the A2A Aerostar that I really want to show you guys. I think it's in a much better state now, and I think it's an aircraft worthy of taking a look at. I've purchased the aircrafts back then. I think it's been like 2 or 3 months. When it was available in early access, I got it the very first day. And the version 0.9.9 has been released, and I think the aircraft is in a state where we can take a look at it. And then there is the citation as well from Flight Effects that we haven't taken a look at. And I don't think that we've given the FS Labs sufficient coverage as well. So I think we are going to do a flight with that. I do also want to show you guys Say Intentions with its generated traffic feature. I think it's really, really cool. Very, very nice. So we need to take a look at that. So in the days to come, maybe we'll plan a little bit more MSFS flights so that we can cover all of this, all these add-ons. Yeah, it has a Disney coloring. Yeah, I agree with you. It reminds me of a, you know, you see this color here in the far, the orangey color that reminds me of a Pixar movie. So nice. Yeah. This SU3 is what the release of MSFS should have been, but suits don't care. We paid for it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this should have been the very first release. Yeah, very stable, very smooth, and things work as they should. Well, not everything. It's got its, you know, it's got its hiccups as well. Techie Tecmo, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. It's been a while. Hi, Q8. Glad to see you still doing flight sim. You were one of the first I started watching and still watch. Keep up the great work. A true gentleman. Thank you very much, Techie Tecmo. I really appreciate that. And it takes a fine gentleman to recognize another. So thank you very much for that, my friend. I appreciate it. It's me or the weather radar is still not working. No, the weather radar is working. And I'm not sure if we can get it to, let's see, to display something today for us. But it is definitely working, and I've had it actually in the previous flight that I've done. I will have to tell you that the actual render of the weather in the on the display is not all that great, but it's definitely there. Probably the weather is good. Yeah. Hello, Amir. Hi Q8, do you think sky color and clouds are better in XP or MSFS, which is more realistic? Hands down, X-Plane is far more realistic, both in terms of its representation of meteorological data and the actual colors of the sky, the sun glow, the actual sun rendering, the light scattering in X-Plane, the cloud formation, the cloud types, the cloud elevation in X-Plane is much, much better than MSFS. Far more realistic, closer to real life. So, yeah, definitely X-Plane wins there. Here's our top of descent. As you can see here, we are about 14 nautical miles. We're going to begin the descent shortly, and we should be able to make it into Zurich on time today. So, we've been flying, I think, for maybe about 30 minutes or so. It's got some really nice texturing. By the way, this aircraft has a really nice cabin. Here, let me open the flight deck door. And let's see here. You can't. This is, by the way, just for looks. So it doesn't really do anything. So it's just there for completeness sake, I suppose. So if we go past the first curtain here, you'll see the nicely modeled cabin, then customized as well, so you can see the KLM screens here. This is more than likely business class, and maybe it doesn't have a first class. Well, it could be first, I don't know. But yeah, we'll go back here, and this looks like, yeah, the second part. Again, same type of seats. And then you've got your, it looks like this is premium economy, perhaps. and then you have your economy here in the back. So the cabin is a very nicely modeled cabin. The texturing is quite nice, crisp, and I think they've spent some time really creating a nice cabin here with the, with some really nice details. Again, if you've been following the channel long enough, this is something I don't really care about much. I don't really spend any time looking at, the passenger cabin. But for those of you who like it, it's definitely there, and it's not bad. So in terms of the texturing, I think it looks pretty good, as you can see here. And here's your, first or business class. And yeah, so, oh, what the hell? What in the world happened here?
Caution, terrain.
Jeez. What in the world happened? Was that the top of descent? Did it happen after the descent? Wow. Gee. I wonder what happened there. Wow. I really don't know what happened. Jeez, failures enabled. I have no idea what has happened there, guys. But let me extend the speed brake here real quick, and let's slow the aircraft down. It must have happened at the top of descent. Let me check here. Looks like all the systems are normal. So I really am not sure what has happened here. So we're just going to slow the aircraft down. And let me go to the descent checklist here. So this is after takeoff. Descent checklist recall checked notes. Auto brake is set to 2. Landing data is set. And the approach briefing is complete. All right, speed brake extended, so let's bring this back. There we go. Okay. Wow. That was something pretty scary, wasn't it? Better not to go to the cabin. Another disconnect, maybe you bumped your yoke. Maybe. Yeah, maybe I've hit the yoke, or I've hit a button that disconnects the autopilot or something like that. But it was a nose dive, and it was looking very scary. I'm sure the passengers would have been in a complete state of panic if this was in real life. But yeah, thankfully we were able to recover, and things are back to normal now. Yeah, 0G flight for free. Yeah. It was definitely a scary situation. I really am not sure what happened there, but more than likely something induced from my part. More than likely. Right, looks like things are getting a little bit dark here, so I am going to brighten up our displays. So let me turn those up. Displays there. Overhead display, and then we are going to come over here, and we are going to, all right, so that is already on. I'm going to turn on these lights, panel lights. There we go. All right, now this is a scene where what I was talking about earlier about the sky colors and the cirrus clouds, you can see how this scene now looks really, really bad. I mean, this really doesn't look realistic at all. So, yeah. I'm in dual mode now, working and watching your presentation. Oh, Mohan. Well, thank you very much for that, my friend. Co-pilot do something maybe. Yeah, we caught him in time, haven't we? My son watches a content creator. I really don't understand this younger generation, because when I watch what he watches, it's this guy again does flight simming, right? But it's just the presentation is I just can't watch it. It's just too much screaming and you know, laughter, and it's like really loud. And I ask my son, how, you know, what do you like about this guy? Well, he looks at me and says, well, Dad, he's very funny. But I just don't find it funny. But this generation, guys, is just, they're just different. They're very different. Yeah. Looks like a painting. Exactly, Alex. Yeah, exactly. It looks like a painting. Again, I've always had this, by the way, when folks used to talk about Microsoft Flight Sim, you know, 2020, that it looks amazing and it looks very realistic. And I think in a lot of ways, when you fly VFR, it does look very realistic, but the saturation of the colors makes it anything but. It becomes really very cinematic. It's great for making like those cinematic videos. You know, if you like to create, you're a content creator and you want to make like an ad of a promo video of an airport, then it's great because the color saturation is amazing. But if you're looking for realism, it really is far from being realistic. Great, I had to stop playing Warzone with my son because he was always fooling around. Yeah, it happens here in this. He's not getting hooked on Air Force Proud. No. He used to watch, what's his name, Swiss 01, but then he grew out of him. Swiss 0 has a huge base. He definitely is doing something right, because he has a huge following, and they're probably all very younger people. But yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to watch Swiss 01, to be honest. Very difficult. I mean, it's nice sometimes if you want a laugh, then, you know, it's okay, you know, every once in a while, but just watching him on a regular basis becomes a little bit difficult. Yeah. Kilo's good guy calmed down a lot now that he's has got a pilot license. Oh, nice. Yeah, Swiss 001 has a pilot license. That is correct. Yes. He shouts a lot. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so guys, we are back. I'm very glad that the aircraft that we recovered from the you know, the incident there with the aircraft doing a nosedive, and you know, we've heard the oral warning there, terrain, pull up. So we were definitely heading into disaster, but we recovered in time and saved the aircraft. And now we are heading without incident to Zurich, our final destination. Looks like we are a little bit too high for the current sector, as you can see. And I'm not sure why the aircraft doesn't want to descend more than 800 feet per minute. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the rate of descent. There we go. And that should help us descend, and then we'll switch back to VNAV once we are at the correct altitude. Got this type rating last year. I think he's been flying with his buddy in a snazzy Vision jet in real life. So jealous. Oh, wow, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, some folks get to do that. And yeah, I know he's got a very good relationship with Laminar Research as well. I think Austin really likes him. So He's been like the X-Plane ambassador, if you will. All right, good time for us to look at the weather details at our destination in Zurich. And if we look here, we have winds 360. Actually, it shouldn't say 3, it should say 359, but okay, 360 at 4 knots. Visibility is great. Scattered clouds at 4,000 and broken at 6,500. So there we go. Scattered 4,000, broken 65. Temperature is 20. Altimeter is 1017. No significant change in the next couple of hours. So it should be an uneventful approach and landing, other than the fact that it's a very sharp turn towards the runway. So we're going to continue at 1,800 feet per minute here until, we are at the right altitude. And we are still slightly higher than we're supposed to for the current sector, but that's okay. Let me extend the speed brakes here real quick. There we go. You can see the speed brakes extended. Much nicer. The clouds look much nicer when you're close to them than far in the distance. Okay, looking good. Excellent. And now we can disarm the speed brakes. And we can go back to VNAV. There we go. And we are all good now. Perfect. Lovely scene here as we come in below the clouds. And I think it will look far better once we are below the clouds. Again, very cartoonish look here. But yeah, overall, not bad. Overall, not bad. Shouldn't the VNAV path and descent energy management work? They are working, but I realized a little earlier, vSkycheck, that we were flying high, higher than we were supposed to for the sector. So I decided to increase our rate of descent, to descend a little bit faster. And it looks like it's done a good job there for bringing us to the correct altitude. So we are now looking good, 15,000 feet. We're going to switch to 20 nautical miles because this is the ring here. As you can see, this is 20, this is 10, and then we're going to make the turn. We are going to level off at 4,000 feet, which is our platform altitude. So we are about 11,000 remaining for our platform altitude. We will record our approach into Zurich so that we can take a look at the replay for your viewing pleasure. And speaking of that, let's go to the approach and the altimeter. We'll wait a little bit there before we set the altimeter. And I believe the transition altitude is 5,000 feet, but we can verify this here. It looks like transition is by ATC. Okay. I think now you can see how beautiful the clouds are when they are in closer proximity to the aircraft. I think they look really good. With a shader tool, sorry, I have to bring it up again. You can alter these colors from close by and at a distance. Roy, I'll be interested in getting this shader tool, so I will look for it after the stream and see where, where to get it from. Did you clear all your shader profiles before installing SU3, or just the installer handle it? I've heard some say better performance doing manually. Well, Taki, what I normally do after any sim update, there was, by the way, also an NVIDIA driver update. So there's a brand new driver. So what I've done is I cleared the shader cache. I cleared the rolling cache for the actual sim. I cleared everything that can be cleared in order to, after installing sim update 3. So before I actually started the first flight, I've done all of this with the driver update, and then I finally launched the sim. So I started with a fresh version of the shaders downloaded for the flight. I think, by the way, we are a little bit too high now. So I am going to go to vertical speed again, and I'm going to set it to 2,000 feet per minute. And we're going to extend the speed brakes as well. All the way. And I'm going to reduce our speed to 210 knots. I don't think we'll be able to do it with this turn, so we might have to... Let's do 205. 10,000 feet. All right, landing lights on. Runway turn-off lights on. And non-smoking signs and fasten seatbelt signs are on. Right, we're going to continue now the descent. And this is the only way that we can do this properly. And we might we might also need to, now we're going through the clouds. Very nice cloud smoothing. That's what everyone's been saying. Yeah. All right, so there we go, 900,000. And we can go to flaps 5. Right, flaps 5. That should help us really descend faster. As you can see here, the turn. We're going to go beyond the 10 nautical mile range, then make the turn, which is a sharp turn, to intercept the localizer here for runway 14. Again, the texturing here doesn't look very good. Although this is streamed data or satellite data, I still don't think that it looks very good. But, yeah. All right, let's bring the speed brake back. There we go. We'll arm it. Cabin is ready. And we're going to go to set our altimeter. So the altimeter is set. I think we need to actually extend the speed brake to keep the speed down. There we go. Excellent. Here's the turn. We'll get to enjoy a little bit of the external view before we land into Zurich. Okay. We're almost there. I'm going to switch back to VNAV. And our final approach speed is 144 knots. We're going to arm the speed brake. Now this looks really good. As I've told you guys, when you are below the clouds, it looks really good. And you can now see the panel lights as well. They are looking very nice. Let's switch to 10 nautical miles. We're looking good here. Hey, Keela Doug, how are you, my friend? Welcome aboard. I don't think I ever asked what kind of hardware to usually use. So I'm currently using the Thrustmaster quadrant and flight yoke. I think my flight yoke is due for replacement though, because most of the buttons on the flight yoke do not work anymore. So definitely I need a replacement. I really am eyeing the virtual fly equipment. It's very expensive though, but definitely something I have my eyes on. All right, I think we can, everything here is set. Auto brake is set. Let's go for the altimeters are checked. And next is the landing checklist. All right, let's see here. We're looking good. 170 there. All right, we're almost there now, folks. Perfect. And once we are on the final approach, we will activate the recording so that we can take a look at the a replay of our landing into Zurich. I'm using the old channel. Oh, CH Pros. Oh, wow. That is very old. All right, and here is the turn. Very, very nice. The KLM livery is the bomb, guys. It's just lovely. Look at this view. Wow. All right. Let's get focused on our approach here. We can see the speed is now going down. We're looking good. And the runway should be just to our left now. I'm going to go ahead and engage approach. Heading is set to 134, which is the runway heading. And there you have it. Runway is in sight. Excellent. Speed check, flaps 15. And we're going to select gear down. Looking good.
2,500.
All right. And speed check, flaps 20. And we're going to take this all the way down to 144 knots, our final approach speed. All right, 144 is set. Speed check, flaps 25. Speed check, flaps 30. All right, and the landing checklist is complete. Let's come here to FSR and record. We're going to start the recording here. We'll put this away in the corner. Look at just how beautiful the 777. Look at those flaps, guys. Wow. Looks incredible. This view is amazing. Look at those flaps. Look at the details there on the flaps. Wow. All right, at 1,000 feet, we'll disconnect and we'll take over. Very smooth. Again, you can see the road traffic with the headlights of the cars. Very cool. Hopefully we'll have a fully loaded runway texture when we arrive.
1,000.
Right, 1,000 feet. Let's disconnect the autopilot. And we're going to disconnect the auto throttle as well. And my aircraft.
One hundred. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And reverse. Manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zurich in Switzerland. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Yeah, the ground textures weren't loaded completely, but yeah, what to do? All right, so let us go back here real quick. We're going to say stop the recording, and let's take a look at our landing. We're going to, this is too much here, so we're going to say here, and let's play it here. All right, let's go to the external view. Guys, look at this. Wow. Looks really good, I have to say. Pretty cool, isn't it? Let's do it one more time here. And maybe one more time with the wing view. Let's bring it back. Right there, and play that. Yeah, obviously the speed brakes are deployed in the replay, but you notice the wing flex, guys, how beautiful it is. That was a really nice nice approach and landing into Zurich. Very nice wing flex. All right. So we're going to say we'll just wait until it's out there. Right. We're going to take control of the plane. And there we go. Okay. All right. Let's retract the flaps. Auto brake off. Let's start the APU. And did we not turn on the landing lights? Looks like we didn't. Strobes are off. All right. There you have it, ladies and gents. The PMDG 777 in all its glory. And it does take a little bit of time for the textures to load. That's one thing I've noticed in this version of MSFS. Right, Echo 2-4. And there you have it. Parking brake set. And let's just take a quick look here. APU. Right, so let's kill the engines. There we go, and we can also turn off the beacon lights off. And let's come to GSX, request deboarding.
Requested.
And let's see. There we go. All right. And the deboarding is now in progress, and the passengers will disembark the aircraft momentarily, and we're also getting the luggage unloaded from the aircraft. Well, my final remarks on this latest version of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 Sim Update 3 is that it is by far the most stable version of the sim. I think as of today, I think we are able to enjoy the sim. The number of crashes has been minimized. Now the sim is without a doubt far more stable, with a lot of the issues that we've had since release been ironed out. I think this is probably, as you guys have indicated here in chat, is that this is probably the version which this should have been the release version of Microsoft Flight Sim. So I do agree there with your assessment. Mid to late 26, if lucky, they got some big updates in the pipe, and they're modeling it on their own custom-built architecture, not using XP engine models. That's pretty cool. Yeah. All MSFS default scenery used today, and yeah, you can download the scenery and planes now. Oh, that's great. I'll definitely take a look at that and see if I think it's much better to do that, really. But overall, I think I'm very pleased with where Microsoft Flight Sim is at today. I think as we've witnessed in this flight with the PMDG 777 is that the experience is pretty smooth. There are really no issues. Stuttering is at a very minimum. We've had one pause during the entire flight. Loading textures is still something that is a problem, I think. So maybe downloading the airports that you're flying to is a better option than streaming it. Well, we are going to meet again, guys, on Tuesday And if the plan changes, I'll be sure to let you know. If you'd like to help me out, please do subscribe to my new channel, which I've posted in chat. Thank you for those of you who already subscribed. I look forward to providing you with a completely different and brand new experience there. But until we meet on Tuesday, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I hope we'll see you all very soon. Take care, guys, and have a lovely day.